Hi everyone, thanks for attending and participating in this Concise final meeting and seminar. I want to briefly present the methodology that we carry out in the public consultations in 5 European countries on behalf of the Concise Consortium. The public consultations were held in Vicenza, Italy, Lodz, Poland, Trnava, Slovakia, Valencia, Spain, and Lisbon, Portugal, in order to respond to the project's 5 main objectives. I'll focus only on citizen consultation methodology as the main method to determining how European citizens build their opinions and viewpoints about science. We designed a standardized citizen consultation protocol to be carried out in the same way in all participating countries. The consultation protocol was tested and validated 6 months before the consultations started in Barcelona's pilot consultation. Based on the script questions validation and the events dynamics, we enrolled and recruited citizens in the 5 countries. We finally managed to bring together 497 citizens in the 5 consultations. We look for a great diversity of people from each participating countries among the citizen sample. It's not a statistical representative, but it's a relevant diversity in terms of citizens' profile, according to criteria and dimensions of gender, age, place of residence, ethnic minorities, impaired people, etc. The debates were recorded and transcribed, as you can imagine, many pages of transcriptions, 3,500 each. The debate table's moderator asked 3 questions about each discussed topic: climate change, vaccines, GMO, and complementary and alternative medicine. And also participants responded to 3 questionnaires on perception. These questionnaires were very dynamic activity to break the ice between the different topic debates. So we got a lot of quantitative result on perception and confidence in the issues discussed. We needed a year to carry out the analysis of citizen debates. On the one hand, we addressed a quantitative study based on a lexical metric approach and qualitative research based on a more classical methodological approach. From the other side, we analyzed the citizens' discourses focusing on the social aspects of communication and how the participants use language to achieve a specific effect. For example, to generate truth, to create doubts, evoke emotions, consent or dissent. Once the transcriptions were encoded, then the speeches were analyzed. The first step of the content analysis was the lexic metric and quantitative, focus on simple words. At the end of this phase, each Concise partner wrote 2 reports. The first one was a description of the main result of the analysis described so far in English to facilitate the exchange between the Concise Consortium. The second was a synthesis of these results with some interpretative ideas to support the next phase development. The second step of the content analysis was the classical and qualitative one. We follow some fundamental steps such as the elementary unit choice, the definition of the coding block, the application, the interpretation. The consortium shared a single code book with a 3 structure as required by the N-VIVO software. The code book included independent variable, that is the topics under discussion and the participant characteristics, and dependent, that is the context mentioned by the participant. The third step was an inductive approach based on the in-depth discourses analysis and pattern search. To do this qualitative approach, we work the following steps. Identify the context of the speeches in the country where the citizen consultation were carried out in order to properly interpret citizen dialogues. It was taking into account contextual factors, elements, situations such as political or electoral debate, recent regulation or governance, or the dissemination through the media on social network, some news of the topics discussed. The second point was identify the central frames in the public speeches where people talk about these 4 issues. For climate change, some frames were reliability and rigor of information sources, opinion leaders, among others. The frame proposed for vaccine were, for example, the role of the family doctor, the role of the parent, vaccine hoaxes and conspiracy theories, and the proposed frame from the complementary and alternative therapy were the placebo effects, word of mouth, it works for me, and the frames used for GMOs were environmental activism, movements against transgenic, among others. We apply 3 levels of the qualitative analysis. We apply micro level of study, meso level of study, and macro level of study. Once the conversation reached at the micro level, the fragments were selected literally, verbatim, to be able to analyze the arguments in a comprehensive way. The images that I will explain now represent the speech approach in depth way. In the slide, you can find more specific aspects and detail about the opinions of the citizens. That is, we can find most emotional aspect of the debates. We can see the discourses division into 2 axes in the slide, science versus pseudoscience, and the natural versus chemistry, with fascinating discussions about whether centered therapies were more scientific than other. Each country decided to apply the content analysis methodology in a general way using the previous step on the whole corpus of study or through the topics discussed independently. Finally, the reports generated during the data analysis allow us to publish 6 policy brief, a protocol on the concise consultation, and a chapter that the Polish team published 2 weeks ago. We are awaiting the review of several works, and we continue uploading more manuscripts to international journals. From my side, I'm done the presentation. Thank you so much, all of you.